Hey, Clarus. My name's Nerdy.
I'm Clarus.
We get Nerdy Nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Thank you for those biddies, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. I hated that.
Why'd you hate that?
Don't do that again. Because we were going to do a new intro, and then you threw me off by making it a new intro, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, our intro is usually What's Up Internet, and then we would say our names. And now we have decided, for the sake of branding, that we're gonna stick with Nerdy and Clarus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The patrons found out about this yesterday.
Yep.
Because the patrons always get things first, because we love you, patrons.
We do.
You have no idea how much we love you.
Truly.
But we paid rent yesterday, so...
Woohoo!
We paid our rent!
Yay! Go team!
We are successful adults.
Yeah, that's what qualifies this. Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I got my LTTstore.com beanie on.
Mm-hmm. We're not sponsored by Linus Tech Tips,
Simpin' for my favorite YouTuber.
For real. He's great.
Yeah, I'm a big Linus Tech Tips fan. I don't understand most of the videos I watch.
Yeah, we watch a lot of their computer videos, and we just pretend that we know the words that they're using.
No.
Hoping that we'll get there eventually.
That's what it is. I'm not pretending. Yeah. I'm genuinely listening to try and get smarter about this stuff, because I care.
We all learning.
And, I feel like I'm going to, computer school through LTTstore.com.
Through YouTube. I love it.
But I really appreciate, educational, intelligent YouTube content. Mm-hmm. And I wish that I could make it, but I'm neither educational nor intelligent, so... Well, you're stuck with me going, oh, that's a big monster!
I would disagree with you, because you do have a degree, so...
In musical theater. Let's hold up for a whole damn minute here.
Doesn't mean you're not educated.
I have a degree in musical theater.
I only have a diploma in musical theater, so you got a better piece of paper than I do. I'm just saying. All right?
Here's the thing. I will say this. I did go to a very expensive university. Did I go to a great university? Jury's out.
We're still figuring that out.
Jury is out. But I went to a very expensive university, and I'm aware of it every single month.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And now so am I.
Joe Biden, I just want to say thank you for pushing my student loan payments back to September and making sure I don't have interest until then. It's helping me out a great deal.
Yes, we appreciate you. I hope you're watching this. Have a good day.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I like your hair today.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was in braids yesterday.
It's got volume.
It does. It doesn't often have volume. Mm-hmm. It's nice when it does. Problem is, it won't last. I literally just took the braids out, so it's, big and, fluffy, but, by the end of the day, there's
nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is.
I would never want extensions for length. My hair is long enough. But I would definitely get extensions for, volume.
Ooh.
Maybe one day.
All right, y'all. I think that you're here for the news, right? This is a news show.
No.
Oh, it's not?
No.
All right, then
we just
lead us into our next segment.
We just drink tea. What are you drinking today?
The what now? The news. Y'all, this is going to be a tough story to do.
Ooh, on the palate, it's very nice. Sorry, I was trying to be a wine person. I'm not a wine person.
On the palate. It's... Wow.
That's my impression of sommeliers. David is deeply offended.
As a sommelier. I'm not a sommelier.
As a wine enthusiast.
As someone who enjoys wine quite a bit. Y'all, this is going to be a hard story for me to get through. Because I am, like I just said earlier in this show that you are currently watching, I am not intelligent and I'm not educational. But this is a bit of a numbers story. But it's also just so funny to me that we have to talk about it.
Great.
And it's why the title is What the Hell is Happening at GameStop?
Love it.
So GameStop, if you don't know, is a store in the United States of America and a couple of locations elsewhere where you can buy video games. Physical copies of a video game.
Yep.
Which...
And also other, toys and stuff.
Well, but now they become... That wasn't originally the case.
Right.
The toys started to happen in the late 2000s when digital purchasing became more and more prevalent, and we got to the point where we're at now, where GameStop is going to go out of business, probably. It's going to be hard to run a company like GameStop for the same reason that it was hard to run a company like Blockbuster. There are fewer and fewer games that people buy physical copies of.
Yeah.
And usually when you are buying that disc from the store for the same price that you're buying the digital copy, you are essentially just buying a disc that you insert, which sets off the download of the game.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as those little plastic tags that you bought that are like the gift cards for like the Xbox store. But that's what it is, you know what I mean? And so Game Pass isn't doing great. GameStop, sorry. Game Pass is doing very well, actually. As we learned from the Xbox investor call yesterday. But GameStop is not doing great. Mm-hmm. And yet, inexplicably 2 days ago, the GameStop stock hit its all-time high. It did this at a time when most GameStops are closed. Like, GameStops in person are closed.
Yeah.
And so, what happened? And this is where this gets really complicated.
Okay.
So there's a concept in, there is a concept in stock trading called shorting, where you borrow a stock from someone that you think is about to collapse. Here's the problem. I don't understand how this works.
Right.
But basically,
we're not stocks people.
Basically, everyone was saying that
GameStop
is dead. Mm-hmm. And so, a bunch of Wall Street Redditors decided to artificially inflate the price by buying it.
Okay.
And so the price went up and up and up and up and up. And basically what this means is that the people who were shorting GameStop stock, who had borrowed other people's stocks and were trading it in order to make a profit off of it, had to cover the cost of the stock going up. And so they're essentially on the hook for money that never existed in the first place. And so these Redditors are trying to force these Wall Street shorters into having to cover the cost of their short. And so they are hoarding this GameStop stock at a artificially inflated price. Now, this all sounds insane. I know. It's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But GameStop, it set a record at $65 was an all-time high. Yesterday, it was at $145.
What?
Yes. So it's more than doubled.
What?
Yeah. Deep, I don't want to say his name, but Deep Effing Value, the Redditor instrumental in starting this whole thing, reported that he's now up to $22 million on his original investment in GameStop.
What?
Because the stock has blown up so much. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, I should probably go buy GameStop stock because it's inflating and it's blowing up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Here's the problem, all right? This is 100% artificial. This isn't real.
Yeah.
This is going to collapse under the weight of itself pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because this can't last.
Yeah.
It can't keep happening. And so they've artificially made GameStop a viable Wall Street trading asset for a couple of days, while the company is literally in shambles.
Well, yeah, like they're,
I actually don't think GameStop is going to go away. I think that GameStop is going to survive as an online retailer. They just brought in an online a new member of the board of directors who has had previous success turning companies into online stores.
Okay.
And, I don't think that Sony wants to directly sell PlayStation 5s to the consumer. I think that Sony would rather leave that up to a GameStop or Best Buy. Best Buy is probably GameStop's biggest problem in that. But if GameStop can figure out how to do the trade-ins through the mail, I think that GameStop actually has an option to be a website that you go to buy used games, which could be maybe a viable path forward for them. But I do think the majority of brick and mortar GameStop stores are going to close within the next couple of years. Yeah. Especially now that the PS5 has a digital only version. That's not good for GameStop. I'm gonna miss it because I love GameStop. I like the social atmosphere of talking about video games there, but
here's the thing, I would love, You know your, like, local game stores that sell cards and board games and stuff? I would love it, honestly, if, like, that was kind of all in one place. Like, if they merged together and you could go... It was a one-stop shop for your Pokemon cards and your board games and your video games.
That's kind of what GameStop is now, though.
Well, but they don't really have... Like, they have a couple things. I mean, like, buying and selling individual Pokemon cards or Magic cards. And, like... The board games and like the
problem with that is that buying and selling individual Pokemon cards and Magic cards is like a per shop thing.
Yeah.
That there's no like a corporation struggles with that because there's no metric by which they can judge the price of those.
Yeah.
And so it's easier for like a smaller store to have their own prices for something like that than it is for like a corporation, because then the corporation has to have a like rolling index of how much every single thing is worth.
Yeah.
And that just becomes really complicated on a big scale.
Yeah, I guess. I just like, I hate to see, I mean, for us it's EB Games in Canada, but I hate to see that like go away, and you know, I feel like it would get there eventually, but
Rockmage says GameStop would just make every Pokemon card $200, but you would trade it in for like 36 cents.
Yeah.
And then they would resell it for $200.
Yeah. I don't know. It would just be like, it would just be nice to still be able to get the physical copy. Because I know people who, like, collect. You know, they have shelves of games and movies and stuff like that. And, like, it's kind of sad.
I'm a fan of physical media. Look, I love my physical media. I would be sad if physical media went away.
Yeah.
I know that I was really excited to hear that some of the upcoming Nintendo Switch games, like, I'm pretty sure Super Mario 3D Bowser's Fury, if you buy the physical copy, there's no additional download data.
Yeah.
Everything you need to play the game is on the card, which I think is awesome, and I love when that is still happening. But realistically, the situation we're in is that a lot of games aren't like that. A lot of games don't come on their physical media.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Call of Duty Black Ops Modern Warfare 17, look at the gun parts. It's a weird title, but I've heard it's a good game. It's what, like 250 gigabytes for the 4K edition?
Yeah, I don't even know.
They're not going to send you a 250 gigabyte SSD hard drive as the physical media of a game. You know what I mean? Like, that would be insane.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I don't know what they would do.
Yeah, I get it. It's just makes me sad.
It's going to be a slow death, but like all these, unless they reinvent themselves. And maybe they do. Maybe GameStop becomes the like nerdy like clothing retailer that people want.
Yeah, or maybe they become a tabletop mogul where you can go in and they like arrange games and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's really they're just going to have to come up with something new, because what they're doing now isn't working, despite the fact that these Redditors have I get it. They're trying to break the old model. They want to show that Wall Street's BS and all that stuff. I totally get what they're trying to do, but just
don't go buy stocks in GameStop right now.
I also want to get into this paragraph of this story from Kotaku that says, some on the Wall Street Bets subreddit are now frantically asking one another what the exit plan is. Others are holding fast, intent on using this as a moment to stick to the big hedge funds. Here's the problem, right? Now they've artificially inflated this price, and they're buying all of this stock, and they have these $145 stocks.
Yeah.
There's no one to sell them to, and so all these guys and ladies and NBs, I'm sure it's across the spectrum.
Yeah.
All of these people who have done this have put themselves in a position where I think they're all going to lose money.
Yeah.
And I think that GameStop after this might end up actually lower than when they started.
Yeah, they might end up
like
being worse off.
Rubber band. So I think that a lot of people might lose money over this in like a really dumb, we stuck it to the system kind of way.
Yeah.
Rockmage says, ironically, now might be a nice time to short the stock. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about stocks really to like comment on it. It just doesn't seem like it's going to work out for anybody.
I'm not going to lie. When I'm reading the article about it, I feel like I understand it. And then as soon as...
So you should try to explain it to someone you realize you have no clue.
Here, I feel like we haven't explained what shorting is. So I'm going to look it up. And we're going to try and figure this out together live on the morning show. Shorting a stock. Okay, here's what it is. Shorting, or short selling, is when an investor borrows shares and immediately sells them, hoping he or she can scoop them up later at a lower price, return them to the lender, and pocket the difference. Oh, So you think it's about to collapse, right?
Uh-huh.
So you say your friend has 10 stocks, and right now they're worth $30, but tomorrow you think they're going to be worth $20.
Yeah.
So you take those 10 stocks, you sell them, you take that $30 each. Then when they're at $20, you buy them again, and then you give them back to your friend.
Right.
So your friend loses money.
Rude.
But you've made money.
I guess.
That is insane. Now would be a great time to short the stock.
I just don't, like, I've never understood stocks at all. Like, it's not something that, like, I can even begin to hold a torch to. Like,
Ironically, it's, so people, there are people who they have to have done this to short the stock. So they are shorting the stock in a reaction to the fact that other people intended to short the stock. And so they have become that which they hate most. These Wall Street bets people who have tried to rail against the system of shorting are shorting now, and they are what they became. They are Harvey Dent. They are the Wall Street is the Joker, and these Wall Street bets people, they are Harvey Dent, and I believe in Harvey Dent usually, but in this case, this is not going to go well for anyone.
No, this sounds like a hot mess. So, in a few days, we'll probably have more news on this.
Oh, I can't wait. Hardcore Soft Popcorn says, I need to take a Brilliant.org class on this.
Yeah, for real. Well, that was a ride.
Yeah, I told you it would be.
Yeah, my brain hurts a little bit.
Do you have, like, a really good GameStop memory?
EB Games?
Yeah, or EB Games.
I've never really been to a GameStop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been EB Games here as long as I can remember.
Do you have a good EB Games story then?
Not really. I kind of just go in to like look and like enjoy, but like I don't have any like stories.
There's an EB Games on 34th Street in New York. There's a GameStop on 34th Street in New York. And I remember the night that Super Smash Brothers came out for the Nintendo Switch, they had a midnight release party.
Right.
And so I went with a couple friends, and we went to the GameStop. And the GameStop there is 2 floors. Right. There's a basement, which is the Think Geek store, which is all this like nerdy apparel. And so they closed at like 10. And so we were all just hanging out outside. There's a hero cart, like there's food. So everyone's like drinking coffee. Like it was fun. People passing flasks around. And so there was like the kids section and then the adult section. And so they opened the doors at like 11:50. And we were very organized. We went in, we bought the games, and then all the kids kind of left. And then all the adults sat down on the floor of this GameStop, and we just kind of played we like all booted up the game, and we're playing against each other on the floor of this GameStop until like the manager he sent his employees home, which I thought was really cool. And he was like, I'm just gonna stick around. If you guys want to play, let's play. And so this manager like stuck around with us until 3:00 in the morning, and we were all just sitting on the floor of this GameStop playing Super Smash Brothers.
Wow.
And it was so fun. It was a really cool night. We all ended up buying a bunch of other stuff,
Yeah, for
Amiibo.
sure.
I think he sold out of all the Amiibos. Like, the manager was smart. Like, he ended up making a lot of money.
For sure.
And the flasks were being passed around, and like, it was a good night. It was really fun.
Yeah, I've never been to like a release of a video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been to a few.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we went to like book releases, but we didn't really go to video game releases.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Pretty much. And then when I moved out, there's no way I could afford to buy like a AAA title on like day one. So yeah, I've never been to one.
Yeah, same. I've never prioritized the money I made towards that and not food.
Well, I was trying to feed 2 people. So.
This is why I worked in restaurants. I wouldn't have to buy food because I would take home food from the restaurant, and then I would spend all my money on video games.
Oh, for sure. But like, you were working at a restaurant where you made good tips, and I made $30.
Ooh, not in the beginning. No, I was a food runner in the beginning. I made
but still, even like I when I worked at Chibo, like the food runner tips were like not bad. Like I'm telling you, when I worked at Swiss Chalet, and I am saying this, like people don't tip at Swiss Chalet, and it's so frustrating because your server does way more work for you than any other restaurant because they have to make your desserts, make your salads, make your drinks, make some of your appetizers. and then run it all and take your orders and clean up this. Like, it's, no other restaurant I've ever heard of, it, like, makes their servers make desserts and salads and apps and
I've never made a dish in a restaurant. Ever. I've never I've never been allowed to touch food until chef said it was until it was plated and done.
Yeah, no, this was not bad at all.
I've worked at restaurants that let me, like, if the plate was dirty, I was allowed to fix the presentation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's the closest I've ever come. Mm-hmm. You know what's wild? Speaking of people who don't tip, it is funny. I'm not gonna say any specifics because I don't want to say anything that's, like, gonna be controversial. Mm-hmm. But it is weird when you start being a waiter and the stereotypes you hear about people that don't tip. Like, you feel you go into being a waiter being like, nah, that's not gonna be true. Like, it's just, like, BS. And then really quickly you're like, oh yeah, like, people under the age of, like, 21 who are either people who have worked as a server who tip, or people who have never worked as a server who don't tip.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, literally.
And that's the only stereotype I'm gonna get into because there's a lot of, I don't want to, but it is funny as a waiter because I've been a waiter for 7 years. Mm-hmm. And there are just tables that you walk up to and you're like, I'm gonna give you my best and you're gonna give me nothing and we're both gonna be okay with it.
Yep. Yeah, you just kind of have to accept that it comes with the job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why like certain restaurants have better waiters, and it's because they're restaurants that have a clientele. It's like, it's.
Yeah.
Is it the egg or the chicken? You know what I mean?
Have you ever worked at a restaurant that pooled tips?
Yeah. That goes at pool tip.
Oh, right. You did tell me that.
I don't. Here's the thing. If it's a restaurant where everyone's making money. Here's the thing. I actually like pool tipping. And the reason for that is that customers are racist. And I'm just going to say it. I was one of the highest tipped waiters in my restaurant. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason why I was one of the highest tipped waiters in my restaurant is because I was a white man.
Yeah.
And I was not one of the best waiters in my restaurant. In fact, the best waiters in my restaurant were almost all Albanian. And they had accents, and they would get lower tips because of it, even though they were white. And the Hispanic waiters in my restaurant would get lower tips. And so I felt like the pool tipping balanced that out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it allowed other people who I worked with, who I loved and who I cherished, and who were only being paid less than me by our customers because of the color of their skin. Mm-hmm. It balanced that out a little bit, and it frustrated me. That was the case.
Yeah.
But in that situation, I did not mind that I was making less than what I was being tipped because it was going towards people I cared about and people I worked with and people who were there for me. You know what I mean? Like, that restaurant functions as a team, and I was 100% on board with that team. Mm-hmm. And but I believe that strongly. There is a serious issue in New York. New York has a problem with this. And I'm assuming elsewhere, but I don't know firsthand. Mm-hmm. Where people are less likely to give the 20% tip to someone of color, and that's the reality of the world.
Yeah.
And it's unfair and it sucks. And so in that situation, I never complained about it because I was like, you know what, like.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, especially if you're working as a cohesive team.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. How did we get to restaurants?
Stocks. We went from stocks to GameStop. So we went from GameStop stocks to GameStop experiences to you said tipping at some point.
Oh yeah, right. Because I was like, I could never afford to buy a video game.
Boom! We figured it out.
That was it.
Should we talk about something else?
Let's do it. What other news have we got?
That's it.
The only news story of the day.
No, we have some weird Godzilla vs King Kong news, y'all.
Yeah.
They pushed back. But barely.
Barely.
Here's the story. So Godzilla, we talked about it a few days ago, pushed forward 2 months to March 25th or 26th to March 26th. And so the movie was supposed to come out in May, and now it's on March 26th. Mm-hmm. And then they announced that they're actually pushing it back to March 31st.
Yeah.
So what's interesting about this is a couple of things. First of all, it was coming out on a Friday. Now it's coming out on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Second of all, the international release date has not changed, and the film will still release internationally on March 26th, and it will release domestically in the United States and on HBO Max on March 31st. So if our movie theaters are open, we'll be able to see this before everyone in the States, which is fun.
Wow. Okay.
But for some reason they pushed it back. Some people are saying that the reason it pushed back might be because the Snyder Cut is going to come out on the 26th.
Yeah, it's rumored.
But I do not think that they would put these out 5 days apart from each other. I think they would want to keep them 1 month apart for HBO Max subscriptions. So I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah, that's such a random, 5 days is nothing.
Yeah. It's a weird move. I don't understand why. There has to be a reason, though.
Yeah. We may never learn the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if the Snyder Cut was coming out, but also, wouldn't they have thought about that before changing the... This just seems so weird. Either somebody, didn't think things through at all.
Yeah.
Or, no, that's it. That's what happened. Somebody screwed up and was like, guys, it's wrong. It's actually the 31st.
No, because here's the thing. The international release is still the 26th.
Yeah.
So around the world, you'll still be able to catch this movie around on the 26th. I think it might have to do with...
It's punishment.
No, I honestly think it might be the turnover dates for people's subscriptions.
You mean, they want people whose, subscription ends on the 30th to have to continue.
Because Wonder Woman was on the 25th. So if you bought 3 months, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not what it is at all.
Sneaky.
But I feel like there might be some sort of... They're looking at the HBO Max numbers, and they're trying to figure out what the audience... The best... I honestly think this whole move has nothing to do with theaters. They don't care about theaters. They've made that very clear. I think they're trying to put this movie on the date where it retains the most people for the following month. And they're going to continue to make their dates about HBO Max.
Wow.
Which means that they're going to get caught in a cycle of not putting out their dates the best day for theaters.
Yeah.
So when theaters do open up, they might get kind of screwed by this.
Oh, and they're not already being screwed?
No, Warner Brothers is not being screwed right now. The movie theaters are. I'm saying that the Warner Brothers is... No, Warner Brothers, they're making money.
I mean the movie theaters are being screwed over.
But who knows if the movie theaters even make it to opening up again. You know what I mean? If there's no movies in April or May...
I think some of them will.
I hope so.
Not all the movie theaters... I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely hopeful.
I hope so.
We did actually... this brings us into our next story, though, which is actually about HBO Max subscriptions.
Yeah.
Because they've doubled.
For Wonder Woman?
Since September.
September.
This is according to AT&T's quarter 4 report, which is October, November, and December. AT&T said the release... this is coming from Variety. AT&T said the release of Wonder Woman 1984 helped HBO Max double activations to 17.2 million in the fourth quarter. I think they call them activations because some people get HBO Max from their HBO Go or from their HBO television subscription.
Oh, okay.
And so this is people who aren't getting it that way. Because apparently there are 41.5 million combined HBO Max and HBO US subscribers.
Sorry,
41.5 million. Which is up from 34.6 the year before. Yeah. So they're up by 7 million there. Yeah. And they've gone from, I think they're at 8.4 million activations at the end of September, and now they're up to 17.2. So they've doubled in the third quarter of last year with the announcement that all of this year's movies would be on HBO Max day of with release. Yeah. They have managed to double their HBO Max activations. Yeah. Which means that they are making money. But they've also said they've poured about 800 million in HBO Max in the fourth quarter of last year. And they put more than $2 billion into the streaming service last year. And so 17.2 million subscribers is not going to cover the cost of that. Yeah. It just isn't. Mm-hmm. However, it does look like as they head into their global releases, hopefully this year, if they can roll out this service through more of the world, get more subscribers. It does look like they might have a path to becoming profitable on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And they were this says they were undoubtedly boosted by Warner Media's deals in the fourth quarter to distribute HBO Max on Roku, which apparently is not going well.
No?
Well, apparently the Roku app is like the worst possible app for this. But...
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. Yeah, at that point, like... That's like the quickest way to turn people off. Mm-hmm. If I get frustrated and I can't use it, I'm done. That's it. I'm not going to try. Like, you know, there are so many other things in my life that I want to put effort into. Learning how to use your app is not one of them. Mm-hmm. You know?
But looking at those numbers, it does look like there is, you know, the fear that HBO Max would struggle from streaming fatigue and that it wouldn't be able to find an audience because people don't want another streaming service. I don't think that is super valid. I think that we're seeing that people are going to sign up for this service. Yeah. I would have it if we were in the States. Mm. So, you know, we'll probably get it when it comes here because there's a lot coming out on it that we want to talk about for the shows that we do and whatnot. Yeah. So it is tough. It's a weird sort of position that we're all in with this international, not international thing. Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be going well for HBO Max. The question is at what cost for the larger entertainment industry?
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Oh, man. I'm still like, that's so sneaky. Them shifting the date, if that's why.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either, and that's why I'm kind of like, gross.
The day they pulled Wonder Woman 84, Dark Dispatch is saying about the Roku app, the day they pulled Wonder Woman 84, none of the video worked. I could listen to shows, I could read subtitles, which is a black screen. What do you mean? The day they pulled Wonder Woman 84 off of HBO Max, yeah. Everything, all the other shows on HBO Max stopped working. Yeah, that's wild. The Roku app is bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's. Dark Dispatch says it might officially be worse than the CBS app now. Well, it's a good thing the CBS app doesn't exist. Well, I mean, it does for another month, but.
Yeah, it won't exist anymore.
Get that Paramount Plus.
Oh my God, there's so many. Like, it's gonna be so hard to keep track of.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all pluses, which makes it annoying.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of liked when it was Netflix and Hulu and...
Yeah. Yeah, when Disney Plus... Well, R.I.P.
Disney Plus wasn't the first.
No, it's just like... I was like, Disney Plus. I was like, you had an opportunity. Could be a cool name here. Yeah. Disney Plus.
Okay. ESPN Plus, Disney Plus... Screen Junkies had Screen Junkies Plus, which was their failed. Oh God, that was such a disaster for them. Yeah. Good shows though. Kevin Smith had a show on there where he like unboxed toys. It was very cool.
That's fun.
I was one of the people who had Screen Junkies Plus. There was a time. Shocked. There was a time. Monday Night Raw. I mean, look, there were shows on there. It was a good time.
If you say so.
And I was the one person who watched them. The good news is all the people who worked on that now have a good sense of humor about it, where they kind of are like, yeah, we were the first people to try the streaming service thing, and good luck. Yeah. Yeah. What is the streaming service that doesn't currently exist that you would be interested in?
I don't...
You don't want, like, Tolkien Plus? That's just the extended editions
of Lord of the Rings? Like, what? I have the DVDs.
Yeah, I know, but we don't have the 4K Blu-rays.
Okay, but we also don't have a 4K TV.
I mean, so, like, You know what? That's so sad.
I'm sorry.
Why don't we have a 4K TV?
Because we're poor. We make online content. Yeah, there's already
Star Wars Plus.
No, it's
Hardcore
Disney.
Soft Popcorn. That's Disney.
It's literally Disney. Like, I'm trying to think of like something, and I'm like, no.
Here's the thing that Disney does that HBO Max doesn't get yet. You own the content. Leave it on your streaming service. Disney's really smart about the fact that all the Star Wars stuff is there. Warner Brothers keeps... What are you doing?
There's like fluff in your beard.
Oh my God.
Like balls of fluff.
HBO Max keeps pulling its DCEU movies off of HBO Max. And I'm like, stop. Leave them up. You own them. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't understand. Maybe they just don't have enough space.
Lord of the Rings is on HBO Max. Wait, Rockmage, does HBO Max have the extended cuts or is it just the theatricals?
If it's the theatricals, don't bother.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't need
HBO Max doesn't have the extended edition? Why? Why would you even put the theatricals available?
Who watches the theatricals?
That's a good question.
Who? Somebody tell me.
We need to find out.
We need to find these people. We need to scour the internet. We need to create a subreddit.
That needs to be our YouTube content. Is us trying to find
the people who watch the non-extended, the theatrical editions of The Lord of the Rings.
It'll be a TikTok series of us, and it'll be us every day in a different location. Day one, trying to find who watches.
Excuse me, sir. Have you seen The Lord of the Rings?
It'll be our Billy on the street, but it's just us going up to people with a microphone outside, being like, "Hi, do you watch the theatrical editions of The Lord of the Rings?"
People will be like, "What the hell is going on?"
That's a checklist for those who enter nerd hell.
Oh my god. I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's like people who prefer Superman 2 over the Donner cut. And I'm like, no, the Donner cut is superior. It's not unfinished, but it is a superior film.
Sure. What? Don't look at me like that.
You know what my favorite thing about the Richard Donner Superman films is? It's the way that Marlon Brando says Krypton. It brings...
What?
Yeah, he doesn't say Krypton.
Krypton?
He says Krypton. And
okay.
He's...
And nobody corrected him? It's like Benedict Cumberbatch in Penguins. Just nobody corrected him?
Yeah, he just says Krypton. Penguins. That's funny too.
Alright. Well, we found someone, actually, Rock Mage, his girlfriend, apparently.
Has never seen the extended editions?
Until they watched them together.
Wow, that's... Rock Mage, I'm glad you fixed that.
Yeah, you've done good work. Well done. Thank you.
But Tom Steam says there are more than 200 different streaming services in the US. Alright, how many can you name? Right now.
10 or less.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I could pop 20 off the top of my head.
Of streaming apps?
Yeah, let's do this. Here we go. No, I got this.
Alright.
I gotta hit 20, okay? Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, what is that bird called?
Twitter?
No. Not the flamingo. The
Peacock.
Thank you. Peacock, ESPN Plus, Quibi doesn't exist anymore, but it's on Roku now, so I think it exists. Are we only counting paid ones or free ones?
I'm assuming 200 includes free and paid.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's easy because then you have like CW app. I'm not even gonna try and do this. I can't remember which ones I've already said. HBO Max, Shudder. I could just start saying things and you would just say that they're real.
I'd be like, cool. Yeah.
Those are the ones I use, I think. Amazon Prime. That's another one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Amazon. That's about it. I don't know any other additional ones that are in America anyways. I mean, we have Crave here, but...
Yeah, we have Crave, but that's just Canadian HBO.
Yeah.
There's gotta be more. I actually thought I was gonna be able to name more than I just did.
That's what I mean. I'm like, no, I can name like 5.
Weird. F1 TV? NBA TV?
Jesus.
WWE Plus, I think, or WWE... There's a WWE one. Crunchyroll, the anime one.
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Fubo.
What? Tubi? What are... No.
Curiosity Stream?
No, they're
Rock,
just...
You're just making...
Throwing stuff
No, I
in
think
the chat.
Tubi's real.
No, it can't be.
No, I'm pretty sure Tubi is real.
It can't be.
No, I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't believe that. I'm sorry. Curiosity Stream is not a real thing. You all are liars.
Yeah, Tubi is real. Tubi is the leading free premium on-demand video streaming app. We have the largest library of content with over 20,000 movies and television shows. I mean, it's free, though. Tubi is basically just like a collection of free stuff to get you to watch ads. Fubo is real, too. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Do Hoopla and Canopy count? I guess then, in this case, there's also, like, Plex is kind of in that world.
What?
Dark Dispatch has Tubi, yeah. Oh my God, this is so funny. Hoopla?
Wild.
Hoopla's hilarious. Canopy with a K, I mean, like, you know that TikTok that's like, Name something that isn't racist but seems like it might be. Canopy spelt with a K seems like it might be a little racist.
Yeah, like I don't know why, but I just feel awkward about it.
You can't change C's to K's anymore without people being like, ooh, I don't know. Funimation. Funimation is legitimate. Pluto TV is a thing. Sling TV. Sling TV is a subscription service.
Pokemon TV?
Pokemon TV is just episodes of Pokemon. But yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. What else would it be?
Voodoo?
Guys,
wait, I have Voodoo.
Are you guys just Googling these?
But isn't Voodoo an app that you buy? Yeah, but Misguided. Mortal Kombat's a little racist. Sorry about it. A little bit. They've done a better job in the more modern games.
Yeah.
The original games are a little like questionable. Crackle? Oh, Crackle.
What is Crackle?
That's another one.
I don't know any of these. DC Universe does not exist anymore.
Yes, it does. It is now
it's comic books.
It's a comic books. But in that case, there's also Marvel Unlimited, which is another streaming service of just comic books.
Oh my god. I can't.
Wait, it still has the animated shows? Those aren't on HBO? I'm so confused.
What?
I'm so confused.
Wow. Well, do we have any more news?
Yeah. Babu Frick is going to be a playable character in the new Star Wars Lego game.
Yay!
Hey, Babu! So that's what I'm excited about. I'm sorry, this show went off the rails, y'all.
We just started naming streaming services. And you know what? We had fun doing it.
Oh, man. I like Shudder. Here's the thing about Shudder. My wife can't watch any horror, and so we don't watch a lot of horror in the house because it's like, just because it's like not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, we watch Pan's Labyrinth together, and that's about it. That's about as close as I'll go.
So it's not worth it because I can't, like, I'm not gonna watch horror movies while you stream. So I'll watch new horror movies when they come out and stuff, but like we don't watch a lot of horror in the house, so it's not worth it to pay for it. I actually had you want to know what's funny? What? I was given a free year of Shudder at Comic-Con at the Shudder booth. I like spun a wheel and I got a free year of Shudder. Yeah. I never used it once.
Yeah, you told me that. What a tragedy.
My friend was working the booth. She was like the booth girl. And I won. Legitimately, she didn't cheat. I promise. Boy Scouts, hand to God, swear. She did not cheat. But yeah, I got this free year of Shudder, and I did not watch one thing on it the entire year.
That's sad.
I was busy.
I'm sure you were.
There's a cool suspense movie called, filmed in Muskoka. I thought it was called Muskoka. Muskoka would be the good title for a horror film. Yeah. A Discovery of Witches has been really good. See, Liza Bear, I get that. I'm just not going to buy another streaming service right now. It's not worth it.
There's so many.
I also don't know if we can get Shudder in Canada.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Y'all, that was mostly our opinions on streaming services, but that was also the news.
It was the news. We did it.
Y'all, thank you so much for a great show. We are always here, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, doing this morning show. If you caught this on our YouTube page, if you watch this on YouTube, or if you listen to it on our podcast feed, please come join us live. It's a lot of fun. We mostly hang out with the chat. We say we're not going to talk to them, but then we end up talking to them. It's like,
we love you guys.
We love you guys. Hopefully this was coherent for the podcast listeners. Y'all, thank you so much for a great show. We will be back tomorrow. We're also both going to be on the internet today. You're streaming
over at twitch.tv/ClarStrakaris.
What you playing?
We're going to continue our Pokemon Emerald game.
And I will be back tomorrow, or I will be back tonight, but not on my channel. No. I will be on Azurabee's channel. We're going to be playing some Ultimate Werewolf in character. It's going to be a full improv show. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Azurabee's channel. I'm really excited. This is like the first like public acting thing I've done in almost a year, which is like really actually over a year because I never performed Jersey. No, right. Well, first night, but. Yeah, wild.
First night wasn't really acting.
So I'm really excited to do that tonight. Hopefully you'll come check that out over on twitch.tv/Azurabee. And, yeah. Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it.
All right, y'all. Well, in that case, there's something we always say. What is it?
Do something nerdy tonight.
Right. Do something nerdy tonight. Bye-bye.